Elon Musk's name is currently exponentially well known and prominent due to his Twitter tantrum. Everyone knows him now. He frays many hats, he runs many businesses, he's the co-founder of PayPal, the online payment mode, the originator of personal spaceflight frontiers person SpaceX, the chief executive of electric car manufacturer Tesla, and the actual doodler of the utopian vehicle concept Hyperloop. He also now owns Twitter. And he has many judgments about the world, and his way of thinking is unique rather than the opposite of what other thinks. He thinks we are all doomed, i.e. in a simulation. Do you want to know more about this? Do you want to know when and what Elon Musk thinks? Well, stay right where you are, here at Elon Musk Center. Welcome back, people. Let's continue with the quest. Let's first understand and know the real meaning of simulation. A simulation pretends to be the procedure of real-world operations or techniques using models. The model depicts the key demeanors and factors of the specified procedure or technique, while the simulation illustrates how the model grows under various situations. Simulations are usually computer-based, taking advantage of software-generated measure to subside the conclusions of administrators and architects and for externship purposes. Simulation procedures aid awareness and experiment, as the examples are optical and interactive. Simulation systems comprise discrete circumstance simulation, procedure simulation, and vibrant simulation. Corporations may utilize all of these procedures across various tiers of association. Elon Musk believes that you don't exist. However, it's frivolity personal. He believes that he also doesn't exist. And slightly not in the ordinary connotation of living. Rather, we are merely formless software assemblies sprinting on an enormous stranger computer simulation. Musk has declared that the probability is billions to 1 that we live in base existence, i.e. the social universe. At last year's Spike, he replied to a tweet about the anniversary of the easy tennis video game Pong by jotting down, 49 years later, frolics are photorealistic 3D worlds. What does that direction continue about our existence? This concept is surprisingly famous and prominent among thinkers and even some scientists. Its contemporary interpretation is based on a seminal 2003 article, Are We Living in a Computer Simulation? By the Swedish scholar Nick Bostrom. Presume, he speaks out, that in this distant destiny, societies hugely more technical progressive than ours will be the inquisitive in operating predecessor simulations of the conscious beings in their distant galactic history. If so, there will one day be multiple additional simple actuals, clear minds. Accordingly, you should be surprised if you're one of the rare substantial minds in the present instead of one of the trillions of simulated mentalities. This opinion and belief have an extended narrative in intellectual suspicion, the belief that we can't understand anything about the superficial world and different conventions. The Chinese Taoist philosopher Zhuangzi wrote a prominent fable about a guy who couldn't be certain whether he was dreaming of being a butterfly or a butterfly dreaming of being a guy. René Descartes visualized that he might be being exploited by an evil demon that regulated all the phenomena he underwent. At the same time, the 20th century American philosopher Hilary Putnam minted the term brain in a vat to characterize a very belief. There might be indications and manifestations that our galaxy is a simulation hidden in the fabric of reality. There is much conceivable disapproval to this hypothesis even getting off the ground. Perhaps it's merely not probable for the computer-simulated beings to come aware of what they are. This would win against the hypothesis of substrate liberation, according to which senses are not dependent on physical matter. Or perhaps all cultures demolish themselves before reaching the simulation phase, reasonable if not necessarily comforting. Or maybe developed societies are not interested in operating such simulations, which would be stunning given the types of things that humans do, such as formulating video deepfake technology or studying how to make viruses more infectious, even though they appear to be horrible notions. The simulation assumption is possibly pleasing to an expensive civilization because of its essence as a cosmic scale collision hypothesis as an interpretation of creationism. The inconceivably avant-garde alien operating its simulation of our galaxy is imperceptible from conventional terrestrial notions of God, an omnipotent being who developed everything that we glimpse. But is this God the creator of deism, who lays the first stone up the laws of the essence but then absents himself while innovation runs its procedure? Or another interventionist figure? It might bring a connotation to the tribunal in their favor of the latter. One typically loses hope in response to the belief that we might be all mimicked, that this provokes our spiritual meaningless, and that the frivolity we experience is actual. What do you think about this view of Elon Musk and a few philosophers and scientists? Do you believe that we all live in a simulation and not in reality? Is it true? Do share your thoughts down on the comment section below, and also like and share this video with all of your friends and relatives. Do subscribe to the channel for more amazing content and information, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated. But let's discuss more. Is there any promising justification for acknowledging the simulation assertion though? Or is it just the aesthetically pungent techno-religion? Chalmers scrutinizes that it's a nominal more plausible than premature iterations of skepticism. Descartes' vicious demon only because we now retain operational prototypes, video games or VR, of how such a simulation might function. Others have assumed that there may be indications that our galaxy is a simulation hidden in the fabric of reality that we can imagine. Possibly the simulation slashes intersections at tiny rankings or very high powers. This vision has been around for decades, and if you estimate its ancestor, the idea that everything around you is simply a fantasy, the idea is much, much ancienter than that. Nonetheless, even though the belief is ancient and disputed laboriously by scientists and scholars, it might not hold much significance. For starters, a simulation is, by explanation, a representation of a condition or procedure. And so, if we existed living in a simulation, how would we live and interact with our biological planet as we know it? Unless our bodily relations with meals, humans, atmosphere, and the like are all detailed agendas to swindle the brain in every way to breathe in the physical as such, the idea in and of itself is intrinsically flawed. Once a simulated object evolves physically, then does it, conceptually, cease being a simulation? Another powerful argument against the concept of simulated fact is that the computing constraints. No matter how strong quantum computers have evolved over the years, decades, and centuries, utilizing them to develop an actual physical globe or simulation might even be a technical impossibility. Unless data technologically is radically and rapidly transformed, it might never be probable. Basically, unless vitality as we comprehend it eventually evolves and the manner computers operate is triggered in its head, the only way that the sort of simulation Musk is conversing about would be probable is through some increased level of fact. Few even contend that because humans aren't foreseen to endure on planet Earth for that extended, moderately speaking, a culture could never progress to the point that such simulation would even be feasible. Ultimately, there is no conclusive proof corroborating either flank of this hypothesis. There are chances, and within each chance, there are scientific constraints. If Musk and his partners and his supporters' belief turn out to be accurate, there could be multiple current statuses of truth and identical technologies that we could somehow discover one day. But then, there's the equality valid opportunity that there is one base truth and we're living in it. If this is the real galaxy or portion of the multiverse, but that's another discussion completely, then all of the scientific principles that we know of apply, which means a simulated galaxy would be an impossible event. Furthermore, neither is comprehended for certain, so unless new data and information surface, you'll presumably want to believe what you notice in life. These are the points of discussion about simulation, what philosophers think, and what Elon Musk thinks and conveys in his interview. Few scientists also believe this. There is still no conclusive evidence on which we can rely. There will also be 3 views until that, i.e. one is yours, one is others, and one is truth. We need time to reach the 3rd view, the truth or the fact. Unless and until that truth is based on any proof, people will have different judgments along with Elon Musk, and all will share different views. What do you think about this world, and which do you think is the real world? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do like this video and share it with your friends and relatives, and subscribe to the channel to learn more about this and other exciting information. Also, hit the bell icon so that you won't miss any updates regarding the channel. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.